The sun peeked over the horizon. It was a sight that usually brought a sense of peace and renewal, the first light of dawn breaking through the darkness, promising a fresh start, a new beginning. The calm lake mirrored the sky, creating a perfect reflection of the golden orb rising slowly. The world seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the day to unfold. It painted the sky with hues of pink and gold. The colors blended seamlessly, creating a masterpiece that could rival any artist's canvas. The pinks were soft and gentle, while the golds were warm and inviting. It was a moment of pure beauty, a reminder of the wonders of nature. The water below shimmered with the same colors, making the entire scene look almost magical. A beautiful start to a new day. The air was crisp and fresh, filled with the promise of possibilities. Birds began to chirp, welcoming the morning with their songs. The world was waking up, ready to embrace whatever the day had in store. It was a time of hope and optimism, a chance to leave behind the troubles of yesterday and look forward to the future. But for Sarah, the beauty felt distant. Her heart felt heavy. She sat by the window, staring out at the breathtaking view, but her mind was elsewhere. The worries and fears that plagued her thoughts made it hard to appreciate the beauty around her. She felt disconnected, as if she were watching the sunrise from a different world, one where the colors were muted and the light was dim. She had lost her job. Bills were piling up. Worry clouded her mind. How would she manage? The stack of bills on the table seemed to grow taller every day, a constant reminder of her financial struggles. She felt overwhelmed, unsure of how she would make ends meet. The stress was taking its toll, making it hard to think clearly or find a solution. Every day felt like a battle and she was growing weary. How would she provide for her family? The thought of her children depending on her weighed heavily on her heart. She wanted to give them the best, to ensure they had everything they needed, but the future seemed uncertain. She looked at a family photo, her eyes filled with concern. The smiles in the picture felt like a distant memory, replaced by the constant worry of how to keep them safe and secure. She knew she had to find a way, but the path ahead seemed daunting and unclear. The weight of the world felt like it was on her shoulders. Every morning she woke up with a sense of dread, knowing that the day ahead would be filled with challenges and obstacles. It was as if an invisible force was pressing down on her, making every step she took feel heavy and burdensome. She often found herself sitting alone, lost in thought, wondering how she would muster the strength to keep going. The responsibilities and expectations placed upon her seemed insurmountable, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she was carrying the weight of the world on her own. Each day felt like an uphill battle. From the moment she opened her eyes, she was met with a series of tasks and demands that seemed never-ending. The simplest of activities, like getting out of bed or making breakfast, felt like monumental achievements. She pushed herself to keep moving forward, even when her body and mind screamed for rest. The climb was relentless, and there were times when she wondered if she would ever reach the top. But despite the exhaustion, she kept going, driven by a determination to overcome the obstacles in her path. Doubt crept in. Was there even a way out of this? She questioned her abilities and her worth, wondering if she was truly capable of handling everything that life threw at her. The uncertainty was paralyzing, and she often found herself at a crossroads, unsure of which direction to take. She longed for clarity and guidance, but all she could see were the obstacles in her way. The fear of making the wrong choice weighed heavily on her mind, adding to the already overwhelming burden she carried. She felt lost and alone. In the vast expanse of her thoughts and emotions, she struggled to find a sense of direction. The isolation was suffocating, and she yearned for someone to understand what she was going through. But no matter how many people surrounded her, she couldn't shake the feeling of being utterly alone. The emptiness inside her grew, and she found herself retreating further into her own mind, seeking solace in the quiet corners of her heart. The loneliness was a constant companion, and it seemed as though no one could truly reach her. Fear threatened to consume her. It was a relentless force, whispering doubts and insecurities into her ear. The nights were the hardest as she lay in bed staring at the ceiling, unable to escape the thoughts that plagued her mind. The fear of failure, of not being enough, gnawed at her soul, leaving her feeling vulnerable and exposed. Tears often welled up in her eyes, a physical manifestation of the turmoil within. She tried to push the fear away, but it clung to her, a shadow that refused to let go. It whispered doubts in her ear. The voice was persistent, a constant reminder of her perceived shortcomings. It told her that she wasn't strong enough, that she would never succeed. The doubts echoed in her mind, amplifying her insecurities and feeding her anxiety. She tried to silence the voice, to drown it out with positive thoughts and affirmations, but it always found a way to creep back in. The battle within her was exhausting, and there were moments when she felt like giving up, overwhelmed by the weight of her own doubts. It told her she wouldn't make it. The voice of doubt was relentless, chipping away at her confidence and resolve. It painted a bleak picture of the future, one where she was destined to fail. She looked at herself in the mirror, seeing the reflection of someone who was tired and defeated. The weight of the world seemed too much to bear, and she wondered if she had the strength to keep fighting. But deep down, a small spark of hope remained, a reminder that she had faced challenges before and had come out stronger, and so, despite the doubts and fears, she resolved to keep pushing forward, one step at a time. In the midst of the storm, a whisper, a memory of her grandmother's words. God doesn't give you problems without solutions. Could it be true? Could there be a way out? A glimmer of hope sparked within her. She reached out to her church community. They offered support and prayers. They reminded her she wasn't alone. Small acts of kindness lifted her spirits. A warm meal, a listening ear. Tiny seeds of hope began to sprout. She started each day with prayer, a quiet moment to find strength and guidance. She knew faith wasn't passive. She diligently searched for jobs. Each application, each interview, a step forward. Effort, fueled by faith, became her daily mantra. Section 6. The Garden Within. This is a story of resilience, growth, and the power of nature to heal and transform. Slowly, things began to change. The garden, once neglected and overrun with weeds, started to show signs of life. Each new bud and bloom was a testament to the care and attention it received. The mornings were filled with the songs of birds, and the air was fragrant with the scent of fresh flowers. It was as if the garden itself was breathing a sigh of relief, grateful for the renewed energy and love it was being given. A part-time job offered a lifeline. Bills were managed, and the weight of financial stress began to lift. With each paycheck there was a little more room to breathe, a little more space to dream. The job was not just a means to an end. It was a symbol of hope and stability. It provided a sense of purpose and a reason to get up each morning. The routine brought structure, and the interactions with colleagues brought a sense of community and belonging. The sun seemed to shine a little brighter. Each day felt like a new beginning, filled with possibilities. The once cloudy and uncertain future now seemed clear and promising. The garden, with its vibrant colors and lively inhabitants, mirrored this transformation. It was a place of solace and inspiration, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is always a glimmer of light waiting to break through. The garden within her, once withered, was now blooming again. The care she gave to the garden was a reflection of the care she was giving to herself. Each plant she nurtured, each flower she tended to, was a step towards healing and self-discovery. The garden became a sanctuary, a place where she could connect with nature and with herself. It was a space where she could find peace and clarity, away from the chaos of the outside world. She had faced the storm and emerged stronger. The challenges she had overcome were like the weeds she had pulled from the garden, making way for new growth. She stood tall and confident, knowing that she had the strength to weather any storm. The garden was a testament to her resilience, a living, breathing symbol of her journey. It was a reminder that no matter how tough things get, with patience, care, and determination, we can all find our way back to the light. Section 7. You are not alone. Life's path is never smooth. We all face mountains, but remember, you are not alone. Have faith. Believe that solutions exist. Put in the effort, and watch as hope lights your way. Section 8. Share the light. Share this message of hope with others. Let them know they are not alone in their struggles. Together, we can be beacons of light. We can offer support and remind each other of the strength within. Section 9. A New Dawn. As the sun rose again, Sarah looked at the horizon with a newfound sense of peace. The storm had passed. She had weathered the storm and emerged stronger, her faith reaffirmed. A new dawn, a new beginning.